I'm so thrilled you did not give up on me and leave. And I am so grateful that you're here. So we are on a roll because, yay, everything is working. I have my computer and we are a go. Okay, so guys, today I had the most fun conversation and I actually put aside what I thought I was going to talk to you guys about, and instead we're going to share the conversation that I had. It ties in really well to some stuff I've been working on and reading and learning about, and I'm super excited to share it with you and with some of the people that I'm working with as clients. So I thought this is a wonderful way for me to kind of share it with you, get your thoughts on it, and then share it with more people. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you're my first amazing initial founding audience. Does it feel exciting to be my founding audience? This is Amber Mirza with Conscious Business Talks, and I'm super stoked that we are having this conversation today. Okay, so I'm going to, you know what, let me play with something and make sure that it actually works, because I thought that I would work with it and it didn't show. There's my banner. That's exactly what I was looking for. Okay, let's see who's here. Hey, MJ, you're here. And I know that Vicky was messaging me, so she's probably going to be coming on, but I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I was reading about more about what are the different systems that work with really well for entrepreneurs who are heart-centered and heart-led, who are interested in ethical profitability, and who really want to find a better way to balance life and business, without really sacrificing either or giving up on the potential of either, right? So as I was looking into it, one of the things that I was finding was that in terms of the core functions that a business has to look at, in terms of the systems that you should have in place, that you are measuring, evaluating, and being aware of, right? And also the values, the purpose, the intrinsic purpose that you set your business around. What are some of the things that really come up over and over again for people, right? And the conversation that I had earlier today, it was really cool. It's with this amazing, beautiful woman, and she is a lawyer. And it was the funniest thing, not funny, haha, but funny, interesting, peculiar statement that she made about how she got into it. She talked about, she said, I started this business, and she's a lawyer, so she set up a business as a trademark lawyer. And she said, I set up this business because I couldn't get a job. And give me 1 second, please. Let me just check on, I'm so sorry. I'm checking on Vicky. Okay, so I'm not sure. Matt, do you want to come over and message Vicky and just get her? Because I'm pretty sure you guys can see me, right? Can anybody see me? Okay. So can you correspond with Vicky? Just type her and tell her that I'm on the page, because I don't think anybody else other than MJ can see me either, and you can see me, right? Okay. All right. So I think Vicky will find me. So, okay, perfect. So now more people can see me. tech is something that I trust other people to do for me because I'm not that awesome at it. Can you pick up on that? I can do it when I get really ticked off about it. I make myself do it and I can totally own it. But when somebody says they can't see me, thanks, Vicky. I appreciate you being awesome and finding me. You and Robin are my heroes. And MJ was here right at the start, so I wasn't lost for long. Anyway, so this awesome woman, brilliant, gifted. Hey, Few, you're here too. Yay! This brilliant, talented, highly educated woman says to me, I had to start this business because I couldn't find a job. And she's a lawyer. And she's really smart. What do you mean you cannot find a job, right? And the funny thing is that as I'm trying to fit my head around it, she elaborated. And it wasn't that she couldn't find a job. She couldn't find a job that fit the environment that she felt supported in and could grow in. She said that she was in a really toxic work environment. And she and I were talking about, leaders, owners, CEOs, the executive team, whatever your circumstances in the place that you're working in, that leadership really needs to show up so that your employees are not thinking that this is not an environment that supports them. So I'm so impressed that this woman didn't just take it, that it was just her, this is the job she was stuck at. I remember a friend of mine once saying, our gift is our job, right? That we are able to have a job. So that's our gift. Shut up. Don't complain. Just keep working. But I'm so glad that this woman did not think that, right? She didn't say that. She instead decided she was going to have a company of her own, and she was going to set it up the way she wanted to. She wanted to have the work environment around her, right? She wanted a company that provided that to other people. 3-4 years later, she has a nice team that's growing, and she has grown it to a point that, frankly speaking, given the statistics for small business growth and just even survival, it's incredibly, kudos. So astonishing at the growth she has achieved and the environment she's providing for her employees, right? And then she said something else that was just went right here, and it started to get my wheels turning, right? She's like, but I've had to learn to be fearless. And then she elaborated. She was like, I've learned to be fearless because every day and every time we hit a new threshold, I worry and I'm concerned, and the questions that pop up are, is this going to work? Is this going to last? Am I good enough? Is this really going to happen? And in spite of them, and perhaps because of them, she chooses to go on and take those steps anyway, fearlessly. See, that to me, there is a difference. To me, courage isn't the absence of fear, right? To me, courage is taking the steps even though fear is right there alongside you, sometimes nipping at your heels, dogging your steps. It's there, but you do it anyway, right? I'm going to take a look at comments to see what you guys are sharing, because I love seeing what you guys are thinking. It's like having a conversation, and one of these days I'm going to just have you guys pop up and we'll have a conversation. But right now, these comments, I love seeing them because it gives me a window into your thoughts. So thank you for those. So Vicky says, Robin says, that is such an important distinction. You have to be comfortable in your work environment as we spend so much time there. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I shared with you guys that I think of it like when I was in my corporate jobs, in my corporate career, I always used to think of it as my work family, right? Even as an independent contractor, to me, they were my work family. To me, I spend more time, frankly, with them than I did with my own family sometimes. I'm not proud of that, but it was the reality at the time. I was pouring in so much time. And if I'm going to spend the bulk of my waking hours with somebody, they're my family. I want to be supported. I want to support them. I want to know what's important to them. I want them to care about what's important to me. And I want us to contribute to each other's growth, right? It's totally, like, to me, it's totally reasonable. As human beings, I think we are meant to just grow to be our best every single day. And how can you do that when you don't feel supported, when the environment that you're in, when you are in, I hope that in most cases, we are there because we're answering the call of service. We're answering the call of our purpose. We're answering the call for what makes us feel like we are making a difference in this world, that it means something. What we do means something, and it means something for us to be here, right? What at the end of our life, at the end of our days, what more could you ask than a life well lived, knowing that your being here in this world made a difference, right? So, and Vicky says, smart moment. Oh, absolutely. Like, she made my heart so happy today. I literally left the conversation floating because I thought, girl, you not only went in there, you decided you did not like the circumstances around you, and you decided to do something about it. No, you didn't start your business because you couldn't get hired. You started your business because you wanted the environment that you felt you deserved and was a normal, natural, basic right for somebody to develop their professional skills in, right? To contribute to the growth of a company, but that company also have contribute to your growth as a professional, as a human, right? Because we continue to develop. It's not just our job. We are developing, we're growing. We don't stop growing and evolving as a human just because we reach, a certain age. We got a job. Okay, excellent. I'm done. I don't need to grow anymore. That doesn't happen, right? Oh, and Vicky, I love that. It is so powerful to answer the call of our soul and purpose for our right living. I love the words right living because to me that says it so well. It fits. It sits right. You can wear it comfortably. And when you show up in it, everything works, right? So that's awesome. And Zishan, let's see. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Having a feeling of support and belonging within your work environment really makes such a big difference in your motivation and loyalty levels. You hit on something really important there, right? This is something I touched upon, I think, in one of the first couple of episodes of the show when I was talking about what makes, a business that is aware, that is conscious, that is awake to its power and potential. And it's about what makes the people within it and outside of it invested stakeholders, right? What makes it that you are vested and invested in the success of that organization? What causes you to take on their mission as your own? What causes you to invest your time, your gifts, your creativity, and your knowledge as well as the experience you're gaining, right? What causes you to use that for the growth of another? right? And especially growth of the mission of the organization that is writing your paycheck. They don't own your heart. They don't own, they have a right to ask for it in return for that paycheck, but you cannot buy loyalty, right? They have the right, especially to ask for it if they're being equally loyal towards the people who are showing up in that company. So that's how I look at it anyway. And we are having a discussion about workplace and how the workplace either contributes more to our stress levels, higher, or nurturing environment that boosts our self-esteem because we're not competing but working alongside each other with our different skills and values. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because what you're contributing, each person, I find, we have our gifts. Even if we have the exact same training, we still have our individual way of looking at what we just received, taking it in, and it lands in a way that's very unique to us, because what our experience, what the way we took in the education, the training, the knowledge that we accumulated, even the ways of doing things, right? No two people look at it in the same way. It's impossible, because I'm looking at it using my lenses. You're looking at it using your lenses, right? So it's like unique snowflakes. No two are alike, and neither is the way each human brings whatever it is to that workplace. So frankly, for me, it is such an important distinction, and that's why I really believe that we're going to be spending some time on and off talking about how to evolve as the type of leader that befits a conscious business, right? That befits an organization that is aware of the impact it can make, that is aware of the potential it has to do good, as well as do not so good if it chooses not to take that responsibility really to heart. So it asks for an elevated level of leadership. I truly believe that. And we don't have a choice but to have that elevated level of leadership responsibility. We don't have a choice anymore, I don't think. At least in my opinion, I really don't think we have a choice about that anymore. The world is changing. There is such a pace of change, and it is accelerated. And frankly, if I as a leader don't step up to claim that responsibility, others will step into that void. And I don't know if they have the same intent and desire as I do. So I really don't have that choice to say, it's okay, I won't step up to it, somebody else can do it. Only if I know that the people who are stepping up to do it are the ones who are actually going to step into that role with the right intent, with the right motivation, with the right purpose, then it's cool. Then I know that I can trust my people with them. But if that's not the case, then it is not responsible of me to leave that void just so somebody else, and possibly only for an intent for power, can come and claim that, right? And and Vicky says, yes, what type of leader is a conscious leader and entrepreneur? I'm looking forward to this conversation. Me too. I'm super stoked about, like, every time I do more research and I look into it and I see, having conversations with the people that I'm helping, I'm just like, okay, so this is, let's try this, there's a gap here. Let's try to focus on this for the next little bit until we can really know that the results are showing that what we are doing is actually working, that the intent we have is showing up in the outcome, right? So every time I get very, very, very excited about it. And Robin says, that's a great point for you. We do all have different gifts and unique perspectives based on our lives. It's a beautiful dance. I love the way you put it, Robin. It is a beautiful dance. And that's literally what it is, right? Because there's always this thing when you have a business that's designed around your inherent higher purpose, even when you have a business that is designed with your values as a foundation, right? Even when you have that vision as your North Star, keeping you on the right path to get to where you're going, even then it's a dance, because you have numerous stakeholders. There's always external factors that are pushing against you. So you have to always do that dance to see, am I making sure that there is a balance? And what line I'm treading, is it keeping me on that right path? Am I fulfilling the purpose that I really declared and claimed as mine? Right? Because sometimes it's so tempting to take the easier path. And when I say easier, I'm not saying that, doing what is the right thing is always really hard. But sometimes the path of good enough, it's just good enough, or maybe next time, it gets tempting, especially when things are piling up and you're trying to go and growth, when you're going through and breaking through to that next growth stage, that comes up. And it's tempting to kind of just like, oh, okay, but you know that when you do that, that short term okay is going to really hurt big time, just on the next step to your long-term growth. And you can't, because you don't set up a business. Even if you're setting up a business with an exit plan, you do not set up a business for the short term, right? A business that's conscious, a business that's around your intrinsic higher purpose, a business that you took the time to put your values as a foundation for, you're not setting it up for the short term. Even when you pass it on to somebody and you trust them to run with it for the next stretch, you make sure that that business is set up for success, because it carries the responsibility for livelihoods all around and the impact that you claimed you wanted to make, right? So it's a living entity at that point, and the responsibility is to pass it on responsibly to the next person who's going to run with it. I'm not going to live forever, but I'm going to make darn sure that this thing that I'm setting up is able to continue on well past me, making ripples of impact every single day, changing lives for the better every single day. With every decision we make, I want to know that somebody benefited from that today, right? And that just makes me so jazzed. And let's see. Vicky says, yes, that's right. Elevated level is a must. Agreed. Yes. I really think. And you know what? It was one of my earlier taglines, even before I set up this platform, this whole idea of a conscious business talks. Even then, I had the tagline, elevating the way we do life and business. Because to me, your business is an integral, important part of your life. But it is a part of your life, right? So we got to just elevate it, know that we're living a better way of doing business every single day. And Robin says, using nonviolent communication techniques. Oh my gosh, I borrowed that book. Girl, you and I got to do coffee or cocktails. You pick. We got to do. Great resource for identifying personal needs and communicating. Yep. You hit it on, because that's funny. Hit it on, nonviolent. Okay, so totally not deliberate, but you know what I mean. Okay. No, business does not have to be a bloodbath. In fact, I really think that oh my gosh, this is something else that energizes me every time I think about it. Business is so powerful, but in such an awesome good way, with the potential to do so many amazing things. Like just even the creativity that you can come up with if your business is set up the right way to give you that space around you that allows and nurtures, inspires creativity, right? And that's why I talk to my guys about ethical profitability. How do we get you from revenue to this base? What's at the bottom line? What's the profit you're making in a way that makes you know that you touch somebody's life really well? They are giving you value back because you made an impact on how they want to live life, what they need to live their best life. You had something to do with it. And your profit is the proof that they're giving you the value in exchange for it. That's how I look at it. If you're making money, and if you're making money with the right systems in place, if you know what metrics you need to watch for so you have the focus on what you need to concentrate on, you're not just being busy for the sake of busy, which we fall so often in the trap of, right? How often do I talk to entrepreneurs who are not just living the grind, they're actually glorifying the grind, thinking if I'm grinding, I'm doing it right. I don't believe so. In my world, if you're grinding, we need to take a look at how you're doing business. What systems are you following? What's actually happening in your business that's asking for this much of your time? What do we need to introduce? What are you not delegating, and to whom? Right? Because team players, team members are important. And that literally for me becomes, let's take a look. What's missing? Where is the gap? Why are you having to grind? Why am I not seeing the number of hours you're investing in your business showing in your bottom line? Let's not just talk about what is your gross revenue. I want to talk about what are your profit margins, right? Where are things going? Where are the costs? Wait, you had this many leads come in. Let's talk about how many of those people who entered your world, how many of those people actually were interested enough to know more? Are they interested in knowing more now? Are they interested in coming more fully into your world later? Where is the gap? How do you know what stage they're at? And why is it important? Right? Are you attracting the right people into your organization? Like, the conversation can go so many different ways, but that actual assessment, okay, I came up with a name for it, and tell me what you guys think of it, right? So I have a different page set up for this one, but I called it Profit Labs because I literally wanted to just play around like a geek and figure out what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be tweaked, what is it we're trying to accomplish, and how is it showing up in our business? And I called it a fun analysis, right? Because it's so, okay, who wants to sit there, go through like a big, boring, ginormous assessment and audit, right? So to me, it was so much more fun to do a fun analysis. But I don't know, maybe it's cheesy. Okay, let me see. What are you guys saying? Vicky says that book is my Bible. Okay, so now that means that not just boring, I need to get on it and start reading it. And Few says, yes, your business is you. Oh, yeah. And I'm excited to see what you got. Robin says, Zoom cocktails. I am up for Zoom cocktails anytime. See, it's, yeah. Our world is what we make of it. We can have so much fun. It doesn't matter if it's Zoom. And Few says, communication is a conscious effort every day. It is a conscious effort. And it really does take your attention, because how you communicate and how you listen to get the feedback of what you just exchanged, because it's not a one-way, I'm preaching at you, right? It's a two-way communication. So you have to also develop the art of listening. What are your people trying to tell you? And are you in the right place to listen? Are they comfortable that you are going to listen? Because you don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of yes people, right? Because who needs that? Just tell me what I need to hear, or you think I want to hear, and that's it. That's a really good way for an organization to die really fast. You just can't afford to do that. You need to have that communication and respectful exchange. Who is it who said that? And I love it. And they said, I don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. I'm totally for that. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. There are far more smarter people around. And if I can attract them into my world, we are good, because then I know that that organization is going to go places. We are going to touch lives like nothing I could even imagine just by myself, right? So, and Robin, I'm sure there's some other words that would be appropriate. Grind, struggle, fight, resist, but never success. No, never success. I was laughing because as I was pulling up your comment, Robin, I saw Vicky's and it says, preach it, you girl. Am I on my soapbox again? I get there sometimes. And Matt says, I agree with Robin. I will also mention this though, don't manage. Instead, create a mindset and set of systems that give people the desire to manage themselves in a positive way. Oh my gosh, you are so on point with that, because Matt, you and I have had conversations about that too, where if people are coming to you for every single decision, then you have not set up an environment where they know that they are expected to develop. It's okay if they make mistakes, but as long as they're also learning from those mistakes and continuing to evolve and grow, that's cool. Because otherwise you are going to fast become the bottleneck in your own organization, because everything is going to have to filter through you. And that's not a way to grow. It will in fact keep you in the grind, and it will keep you playing so small because you can't grow. You just can't. And neither can your people. They're not going to develop. They're not going to feel that fulfillment. They're not really going to develop that confidence that is so inherent to their growth. So do you like my finalysis one? I don't know. I was like, okay, is this like too much for my business peeps? I don't know. We'll see. And Robin says, love that approach, Matt. I preferred lead versus manage, very different styles. You guys need to get together. It is absolutely true. You know what? Cocktails coming up, because we all need to have like a nice set of discussions going. And girl, you got me now so curious. I think as soon as I wrap up, I'm running upstairs. And talking about wrapping up, oh, MJ, I think, hon, it's because you're in the group and everybody else is on the page. So next time, come join me on the page. You're in the group. I'll make sure you have the link for the page. But yeah, I'd love to have you here where we are having a party and you're keeping the group going by yourself. So no, totally, come join us. And oh, Larissa is here. Hey, Larissa, so good to see you. Thank you for coming. I really do appreciate you guys. And conscious business cocktails. Yep, I'm all for that. Let's have it. We keep a log of it. I think we should have a log of all of our isms, because I think it's going to be the funnest party when we pull them together and just the things we'll come up with and the awesomeness of creativity around it. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a fun party by itself. I don't think I missed anyone, but if I did, oh, what does Zishan say? I may not be the one to change the world, but I will spark the mind that does. Paraphrase from memory, but this is from Tupac. You know, I gotta give it to the boy. He's so right. Yeah. But you've shared some of his work with me, and how do you argue with that? And the thing that I will disagree a teensy bit with that, I think we all change the world every day with in little ways and big ways. And sometimes, though, we don't give ourselves the credit for it, right? Because we are too hard on ourselves. We think we didn't do enough. or we didn't do it like somebody else did. But I guarantee you, every single thing you do impacts somebody's world. It just sometimes goes unacknowledged, right? Oh man. Okay. Guys, I kept you longer than I intended, but I love you for being here. Thank you, all of you. And Vicky, Robin, Few, Larissa, Zishan, Matt, MJ, Vicky, Robin, if I may repeat names again, but I don't want to miss anybody. Every single one of you, every single person who's here, who watches it on replay, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming and keeping me company. You inspire me to continue to be better and to look more and to find awesome ways to help entrepreneurs live their best lives, because I really think one step at a time, one decision at a time, one system at a time, we can change the world. And the world is pretty awesome to begin with. We just need to let it be. And this is my way of doing it. Mwah! Love you guys. And here is my outro.